The Triumph Daytona 675 is a 600cc class sport bike built by Triumph Motorcycles since 2006, to replace the Daytona 650. The 2008 model has a tested dry weight of 363.7 pounds and wet weight of 407 pounds. Tested power outputs is rated at 104.4 horsepower at 12,100 RPMs with torque of 53.3 lb-ft at 11,750 RPMs. History and development. Triumph Daytona 675 development started in 2000 following the launch of the TT600. The TT600 represented Triumph's first modern middleweight sports motorcycle. A decision was made to manufacture a machine closer aligned with traditional Triumph values. A notable technical decision was the selection of a 3-cylinder engine as the powerplant, instead of the 4-cylinder used by the TT600 and the other 600cc supersport motorcycles. In 2001, soon after the completion of the similarly 3-cylinder powered Triumph Daytona 955i, Triumph began engineering analysis to work out weight, engine performance in power and torque. Pleased with the figures, the project moved to the full concept phase in March 2002. Initial chassis development work was done using a chopped Daytona 600 chassis. Triumph moved the wheelbase, adjusted the head angle, and modified the tank. This new configuration exhibited better performance than the original Daytona 600, forming a basis to compare against competitive bikes such as the Kawasaki Ninja ZX6R and Honda CBR 600R. While engine development had not been completed, computer-aided chassis development continued with the data collected from these tests. Design work for the Daytona 675 proceeded, producing a primarily black design based on the Daytona 600. However, this initial design was discarded as Great British designs of the 1960s had a flowing curved design, no sharp angular aggressive edges. A member of the engineering team produced a concept drawing of the 675 as a naked bike. Styling was based upon this concept drawing and that of the earlier T595 model. Styling development continued in-house, staying close to spirit of earlier Triumph design. Market research groups made up of a variety of different classes of sport bike riders chose the latter design of bike, which was refined and adopted for production. The newly developed engine was first tested on a dynamometer in May 2003. Final development combining styling, engine, chassis into a prototype quickly followed. Prototype testing started in late 2004. The Daytona 675 was officially launched at the NEC International Motorcycle and Scooter Show in 2005. UK-based bike was given an exclusive test ride prior to the official launch, impressing the magazine Test Rider. The magazine declared it the best British sports bike ever, and possibly one of the greatest sports bikes of all time. The Daytona 675 won the Super Sport category for the Master Bike 2006, and won again in 2007. A 24-hour racetrack test by Performance Bikes magazine in the February 2007 edition placed a Daytona 675 against a Suzuki GSX-R 750 over a 24-hour period, which did not yield a positive result for the Daytona. The Daytona 675 did not complete the race test due to a severe mechanical failure. Later analysis indicated that the engine had suffered a broken valve, which is thought to have occurred due to incorrect servicing. Prior to the failure, the Daytona had been consistently outpacing the Suzuki on the course, averaging 0.7 seconds a lap faster. The magazine concludes that this appeared to be an isolated case attributable most likely to incorrect assembly during pre-race servicing. Production. Triumph intended to build only 4,000 Daytona 675 models for 2006, with 1,000 marked for the UK, 2,000 for the US, and 1,000 for the rest of the world. Production may have been increased slightly from these numbers due to demand. Sales. Even before the initial launch, it was not unusual to see waiting lists of 3 months in the US and UK, and even longer in several other parts of the world. Several dealerships in the U.S. started taking orders for the 2007 models as early as July 2006. Racing. When the Daytona 675 was initially launched, there were no factory-backed racing teams. This changed in 2008 when MAP Embassy Racing struck a deal with Triumph, and entered the 2008 British Supersport Championship. On May 5, 2008, Glenn Richards scored the first win for a Triumph-backed team since 2004 and scored 3 further wins on his way to the championship. Before 2008, several privateers were racing the Triumph Daytona 675 without any official factory support. In the British Supersport Championship 2006, Daytonas were raced by Paul Young and Christian Elkin. During the development phase, representations were made to the Isle of Man TT for a 675 triple to race in the 600 class. With a successful outcome, a Daytona was raced by New Zealander Paul Dobbs in the 2006 TT. On August 11, 2006, the Triumph Daytona 675 was cleared for entry into the AMA Formula Extreme class for 2007. The Daytona 675 was used by Team SC in the 2008 Supersport World Championship. The factory-supported team was called Triumph SC and has Gary McCoy and Ilario Dionisi as riders. There is also a Daytona 675 one-make series called Triumph Triple Challenge. This is run in conjunction with MC Race Club and operated under the Motorcycle Racing Organization format. It is a series run over 9 rounds and cost £12,000 to enter in 2007. This cost included ownership of a Daytona 675. The series was being run by T3 Racing. The Triumph Daytona 675 faces a different set of rules and restrictions when it competes in American motorcycle racing events. Although Triumph NA has not sponsored any American teams in the last several decades, privateers began racing Triumphs in AMA races as early as 2002 when the Augusta Triumph Ducati racing team fielded a TT600. It was the first Triumph to make the top 20 when it finished 17th at Road Atlanta. As the TT600 morphed through the Daytona 600, 650, and finally the 675, it produced more interest and more privateers entered AMA and regional events. In the same year that the Daytona 675 debuted in AMA events, Augusta Triumph Ducati racing team members won regional titles at both the expert and novice levels in 4 racing categories. 2009 was a very good year for the Daytona 675. In May, the Augusta Triumph Ducati racing team had a podium finish in AMA. In their competition in MotoGP, the team of Mark Rosier and Phil Caudill scored with a first-place finish at Barber Motorsports Park. Their Daytona 675 was the first time the Triumph Daytona 675 took the pole in an AMA event. It led 19 of 40 laps and is the first time that the Daytona 675 has ever placed first in an AMA event. The Augusta Triumph team went on to win the AMA Pro MotoGP one-season championship with 1 race remaining on the calendar. The Park-and-Go Triumph BE1 Racing World Supersport team also had a good run in 2009, finishing 5th in the manufacturer standings in the team's first year of competition. Team rider Gary McCoy earned 2 podium finishes during the season, the first at Donington and the second at Portimao. In 2010, the Augusta Triumph Ducati racing team fielded their 675 in the WERA Southeast and North Florida regions, winning a total of 4 championships, WERA SE Heavyweight Twins Superbike Expert and Heavyweight Twins Superstock Expert. WERA North Florida Heavyweight Twins Superbike Expert and Heavyweight Twins Superstock Expert. In October, rider Giovanni Rojas added a 5th title by winning the 2010 Grand National Heavyweight Twins Superstock Expert Championship at Road Atlanta, which gave the team a national title. Revisions 2009 The 2009 model of the Daytona has had over 50 technical improvements according to Triumph. While the only cosmetic changes were to the front fairing and turn signals, the new model is lighter. The ECU has been remapped to increase the rev limit and produce a power increase of 3 horsepower, a taller first gear, and handling has improved through high and low speed dampers. In addition, The 2009 model's ECU is compatible with Triumph's OEM plug-and-play quickshifter. 2010 The 2010 model year is virtually unchanged from the 2009 Daytona 675, apart from a redesigned instrument cluster. The new instruments have a different appearance, but do not offer any new functionality as compared to the older design. Triumph offered a 2010 Special Edition Daytona 675 with pearl white paint scheme on the bodywork and a blue frame and swing arm. Unlike the standard version, the Special Edition did not include the updated 2010 instrument cluster. 2011 The 2011 Daytona 675 Special Edition has the same pearl white bodywork and blue frame as the 2010 model, but also included as standard carbon fiber replacements for the cockpit infill panels, exhaust heat shield, exhaust cap, and rear hugger, as well as Triumph's aftermarket adjustable levers. Unlike the 2010 SE, the 2011 SE also includes the updated gauge cluster first found in the standard 2010 model, as well as a new racing-inspired decal design. 2011 Daytona 675 rankings first offered in early 2011, but still part of the 2011 model year, Triumph debuted the Daytona 675R. The 675R did not feature any changes to the engine, instead Triumph's focus was on the standard inclusion of Brembo front brakes, a lens suspension, and Triumph's quickshifter. The 675R has carbon fiber front mudguard, rear hugger, exhaust cap, heat shield, and cockpit infill panels. 2013 The 2013 triple motor is more compact and a little more powerful. The bike has a smaller, lighter and narrower frame. It has a bigger airbox, new swing arm, slipper clutch and lighter wheels. Other changes include a fuel gauge and a side-mounted exhaust instead of the under-seat setup from previous models. ABS is an option on the standard bike. Specifications: all specifications are manufacturer-claimed and estimated unless otherwise noted. Notes. References. External links: official website,